What's that say? Shouldn't help server. Uh, Set a delay between messages. Time out. Messages. Hold for review. Add moderators to your channel. Learn more. Okay. Bam, bam. We're live, I think. Ooh. Am I live? I believe I am. Just checking to see who's there, what's happening. Kind of the first time going on here, so I wanted to see who's out there, what's going on. Today I'm here to talk about pretty much anything health and wellness related, especially when it comes to sunlight. That's a lot of my videos, which you'll see on TikTok. I do a lot of videos related to the sun and how the sunlight benefits your health. So those of you who have ADD, ADHD, skin issues, sleep issues, gut issues, the sunlight is really phenomenal for regulating, upregulating, and shifting your hormones. Because literally, when you're getting, and in particular, AM sunlight, that is the key for getting the benefits. I mean, if you can remember when you were a kid and you were outdoors running in your backyard or a park or a beach or wherever, and you feel great when you're out in nature, just the negative ions and the free electrons if you're running barefoot, that makes all the difference in the world. And anyway, it's just, I love to talk about anything having to do with that. And the sunlight is literally, it's free and it has so many different benefits. So, grounded. All right. Let's see. I got to put on my other shade, my readers here. Grounded in hex. Yes, great topic. Yeah. Yeah. Grounded in hex. Yeah, man. It's like grounding and being in nature. Especially now, it makes such a huge difference depending on where you live, what's going on, and obviously connected to the earth. And I know a lot of people, I'm in Florida, so a lot of people are they go out, they walk around on grass, and that grass is sprayed with Roundup, glyphosate. So the bottoms of your feet, we're the only mammal that have pores on the bottom of our feet. So we pull up those frequencies and we pull up those chemicals. So it's pretty wild. And when you're doing different things like utilizing, especially the AM sunlight, I don't know if you heard me earlier say that, but the AM sunlight in your eyes stimulates hormones. That's how we feed the energy within our body with the AM sunlight, which is UVB light spectrum. And that light spectrum has miraculous benefits throughout our whole body. I mean, literally, it helps mitochondrial function, ATPase. It controls ghrelin, our appetite, suppressant, our leptin, our hormones, our adrenals, you name it. Now, and people worry about they wear SPF, I call it silly people factor, but that stuff is laced. I mean, basically, your skin is your largest organ. So whatever you put on it, you should be able to put in your mouth, right? So, yeah. So, what else, grounded in hex? What else are you doing? Are you grounding? Are you going out in the sun? Where are you at? Are you in the area? Yeah. Yeah, I've done some videos there. I did one video. I just had a guy that commented, like, show me the scientific evidence of it. Even if there is scientific evidence, in my opinion, in my experience, I find that your experience is really what counts. Even if you have all the data, it's just all that mental masturbation and programming that says the science says X number of people will receive these results based on these geographic things and all this other stuff. So I take Miami. All right. So you're at the 28th latitude. I'm on the other coast. Um, so I take the bottles of water, gallon, you can get a half gallon, clear glass. And from what I've learned, and observe from my own experience, you do the AM sunlight. Plus, the glass is made of sand, and sand is basically silica and crystal, which is conductive. So, just using logic and things that I've researched, maybe you've done that too. You're pulling up free electrons into the water. So that, in essence, is doing the same thing that it does to our human body. It charges the body. It gives it energy. So when the water is sitting there for 6 or 7 hours, after a while, it just it has this electricity to it. It has this charge to it. Now, it doesn't last that long, but and you don't want to keep the water out in the at night when the moonlight comes out because that creates, as I say, lunacy. But it's like, yeah, the moon, that's a whole other story. We can get into it some other point. So, but yeah, when you get that sunlight, it charges it. I mean, you can use it in your neti pot as a nasal, in your eyes, on your skin. It sterilizes the water because that's what the sun also does. It sterilizes microbes, bacteria, viruses, and all kinds of things. So, um, yeah, so it's cool. Just be a solar panel, but especially the AM sunlight. That's what's key. You know. So, if there's anybody else have questions, it's tea time. So I'm having a little tea. Um, but yeah, I'm actually starting a community very soon, where I'm going to be uploading a lot of the stuff that I've curated over the years, uh, about let's see, I put glass jugs from Alive Water on my balcony. I leave them there all the time. Just feels good. Yeah, that's great. I mean, there are other things people can do too. You can get creative with it. You can get like a copper wire. I don't know if you've heard of electroculture. That's kind of making the way around the internet and on social media. So copper is conductive, and people use that in their plants. They use it in gardens. In fact, not centuries, but many decades ago, agricultural crops, in their when they're cultivating the soil, they would use copper, which would actually charge the soil, the microbiome in the soil. It would actually infuse it with energy. But now in agriculture, all of the machinery is made with iron. And literally, iron is one of the most heavy metal toxins that we are bioaccumulating every single day. So it's crazy. It's like it just doesn't stop. And excuse me. So a lot of the things we use, we kind of don't even think about or take for granted, like using metal forks or silver forks and stuff like that. Um, that's made out of nickel. Nickel is the additive that's in fuel. So that's a toxin, causing many mitochondrial problems as far, and also neurological issues potentially. So yeah, I think what you're doing is great, man. Sounds, put glass jugs in the water, and then after that you can add Celtic sea salt. Um, yeah. So the group is going to be, basically, I'm going to have like a free section. I'm going to upload PDFs, documents, tips, and things like that, and then there'll be like a subscription where I'll do like a monthly thing where I'll go live on Zoom. Um, I'll help people out, and that's typically what I enjoy doing. I really love to help dot connect and mitigate what someone's going through, right? Just guide them in a way that perhaps they weren't aware of. So if someone's gone down an allopathic route and they have different labels and diseases and things like that, and all they're doing is being told to bandage the issue rather than go after the core, what's causing it, then that's what I help people with. I love doing that because a lot of times the road less traveled is way more efficient and effective, and there's always solutions for everything. So I say adapt, improvise, overcome. That's my sort of motto, you know. And the group, if you go to my TikTok, that's kind of where I'm at primarily. I'm actually trying to build up to 1,000 followers. So you want to go over and support me, I totally appreciate it. And once I get to 1K, I can go live on there, and I'll do a lot more as well. So this is sort of my maiden voyage here on YouTube. Yeah. And yeah, the group will be cool, I think. I feel it's doing live interactive things where we can see each other. It's a community, is basically what it is, because I find a lot of times people come up with lots of products or, you know, programs, and they charge a lot of money, but there's never any support. So I'm going to be here for you to support you in whatever way I can, to guide you. You know, if you need just a little extra push, you know, and I don't claim to know everything. I'm always, I'm learning and I'm unlearning. So I could say something today and contradict myself tomorrow. So that's the thing. It's always action and motion. And that's the only thing that's constant is change. So, right, just got to keep pushing the needle forward and rolling. What else do you like doing, man? Do you do other grounding work? You get out in the sun. You're in Miami, so I guess you're on the health tip as well. So that's always great. If you have any other questions, let me know, mate. How was it in Miami? Pretty crazy. I think the last time I was in Miami was several years ago. If you know anybody else that's interested in grounding, sunlight, health, wellness, I get into a lot, multidimensional anatomy, a lot of different things, but primarily I'm just sticking right now with sunlight. That's something I'm super passionate about. Obviously, being in Miami and being at the 20th latitude, the closer you are to the equator, the better off we are as far as getting sunlight and being able to improve our mitochondrial function and just overall health. And I see a lot of people. Nice. That's great. So what do? You work on a beach? Are you a lifeguard? I was going to say 95% of the time. Wonderful. Primal. Wild. Woo! Yeah. Whoop. Lost you. Anybody there? I don't know. It looks like it dropped. What is that? So, anyway, I don't know. Anybody else there? Well, this has been fun. I think I'm going to hit it here. So, I appreciate you stopping by. And I hope I was able to provide a little bit of information that's going to help. Ah, there you are. Oh, man, what do I think of the skies? Okay, you're back. What do I think of the sky? Yay. What's up, J-Man? All right. Yeah, I went live. Woo! What I think of spraying over skies is doing, I feel like the sun is still amazing. Yeah, the sun, they're going to be doing a lot of crap. Basically, their days are numbered. The question is not if, it's just a question of when. And what up, bud? It's just the best thing we can do is, like I said, adapt, improvise, overcome. If we just go, the sky is falling, they're spraying everything. But the things that I recommend to people are like doing cultured foods, because that's where the spraying, the titanium dioxide, oh man, there's a list of stuff, which I'm sure you're aware of. It basically is, it gets into our system, it gets into our air and our water. There's plasmids, there's payloads of information that they're dropping. They affect our neurology. But I'll tell you, if you are outdoors and not in front of these things, that's why I'm usually wearing my blue blockers in front of this blue light. But, getting grounded, getting outdoors. And my brother from another mother, Jay, who's on here, knows exactly what I'm talking about. Um, yeah, it's that makes all the difference, because the body is always, in all ways, a healing response, no matter what assault is attacking it. The question becomes how grounded, how cognizant, how aware we are through our feelings, through our emotions. And everyone is locked up in here in the noggin, right? They're thinking, debating, and we have to go into feeling and use our own internal guidance to navigate. So I wouldn't stress. I'd get on the No Stress Express about all of those things. And the more you watch social media and you see all of the sort of geopolitical things that are going on, realize it's just a game. I tend to stay away from it, from the micro to the macro. I don't really get too involved. I'm not concerned about it really in the slightest. So, yeah. What's going on? Any other questions? Yeah. So the topic has been sunlight, but I'm open to anything, whatever you guys want to talk about. Primarily my field is, wellness, health, wellness. So, but yeah. Cheers to you guys. Any other questions? Grounded in Hex. Or Jay. What's going on, Jay? Where you at? Yeah. I'm just chilling. Had a nice day at the beach. All the spring break. Everyone's here. Woo woo. So yeah. Do I drink a little seawater? If I get it up my nose. I do. I actually see plasma. I'll do like the Quinton. I don't know if you ever heard of that. Isotonic. I'll do that every once in a while. I kind of mix things up. I don't like to call it a diet. I call it a live it, because we're not dying, we're living, right? I do Celtic sea salt, but different types of salt. I've read some research lately that what's the salt from the Sea of Cortez, Baja Gold, Celtic sea salt in California. Got a little bit high on, jacked on the, yeah, ketone isotonic, yep. Right on, Jay. No worries, mate. Keep your eyes on the road, your hands upon the wheel. Yeah. So, yeah, the Quinton is great. I mean, that stuff is Rene Quinton. Have you ever read anything about Rene Quinton and the seawater plasma? Grounded? I'm just going to call you grounded. That's cool. I don't do too much of it because what I find when I'm in the ocean, what I will do is leave the water on my body, because all of that boron coming from the sun, because the sun is coming down and charging the salts and those isotonic minerals in the ocean. So usually people go home, and they take heard a podcast with who? Who are you referring to? Well, let me know. But yeah, I get home and I just let the water, sometimes I'll sleep with it. Oh, the Kington guy. Okay, so usually it's Quicksilver Scientific. I think they purchased, if I remember correctly, purchased it. Oh, yeah. No, that's not too taboo. I do it. We're switching gears a little bit, but yeah, hey, that's got everything. That's got the stem cells, the vitamins, the minerals, the amino acids, all of it. I've actually got a jar that's about 6 months age that I've been using. So, Yeah. Group's been doing it, and then what's his name from Healing of the Ages, all those guys, Dr. Healy, um, Dr. Artis, um, and a few others. There's a great book out there called Your Own Perfect Medicine by Martha Christie, I believe it is. She's been hard to track and find, but it's a great book. And that stuff I'll probably upload. I don't know if you caught it earlier, Jay. I'm creating a community. I'm going to be launching it probably in the next few days, and I'm asking anybody you know. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 on TikTok. So if you're not already following me over there, if you know anybody that's interested, um, Alex Zach podcast. Okay, Zach interview with Kintonga. I'll check it out. Thanks for the tip on that. Yeah, but yeah, send them over to my TikTok account, which is a Free Spirit Lifestyle, and totally grateful for that. Trying to build up to 1K, and but yeah, Quinton is phenomenal stuff. Do you do the isotonic, or do you do the what's the other one? I can't think of it. I'm just gonna see if I can find it on my computer. I got one hand here, so hold the phone and type. But yeah, Alex Zek podcast. I'll have to check that out. Yeah. Well, if you guys just go on to my TikTok. I know you're not on TikTok, but that would really make a difference. Just I don't know, even if I think you have to join, but you can be anonymous, and yeah, and just hit the follow button. But I'll let you guys know once it's up, and I'll post it here on YouTube as well. So yeah, thanks. I see some notifications. People are tuning in. Stoked. It's going to be great. I mean, I'm going to get into a lot of stuff. Jay pretty much knows. Grounded. If you're into all of this stuff, you're going to be in the right place. And, I love getting into that. I love getting into neurology, you know, multidimensional anatomy, water, obviously, sunlight, light, water, magnetism. You ever follow Jack Cruz? Have you ever heard of him? Neurosurgeon, mitochondriac, black swan. He's been a mentor of mine. Well, not personally, but I've been following him for a number of years. And he's a brain melter. So, but the seawater, yeah. The only thing I miss about the East Coast, because you're in Miami, you said, is just the surf. Like here in Sarasota is where I'm at. And it's the Gulf. So, not really any big waves. Oh, cool. Awesome. Yabba dabba. Yeah, I just uploaded some more sunlight videos on there. And he thinks we went to the moon. Yeah, I know. That's a whole other topic. Well, the moon is actually a ship. Came here from Maldak. It's static, has no rotation. And yeah, yeah, mitochondriacs, exactly. You take what works and you chuck the rest. I mean, even when Jack goes into, the Chickasaw Crater, and he goes into, where we originated from, and, and I get it. I get it from a microbe, like with archaea microbes and how they are the oldest. And I actually work with a product. That's the other thing. I'm going to be putting up products that you may have heard of, but most likely not, because I affiliate myself with companies that I vet, and I look at superfoods, not so much supplements, but really superfoods. I do have supplements, and my thing is like supplements. Yeah, how about this eclipse coming, to look or not to look? That is the question. I don't know. Put on your blue blockers or your moon blockers, right? Just woo. Yeah. I don't know. There's gonna solar flares, EMFs. It's just stay grounded, man. That's all I can say. I feel the energies because that's what happens with the moon energy, obviously the full moon. And what it does is it changes the slosh rate of water. And so those waters in our bodies, especially for women, especially, they get really, um, definitely going to look at it. All right, cool. Yeah, I remember back in the day, what we used to do is take, I think it was like a cardboard, a pinhole, and you would let the sunlight come through, and then you look at the eclipse through the cardboard, reflecting on the background of it, which was always pretty interesting. Um, yeah, there's so many different events that are happening. Oh, no, no, you're good. You're good. I'm jumping around. Um, but I wanted to, where was it? Yeah, from what Grounded was saying about Jack Cruz, yeah, Jack Cruz gets into the history and believes in the moon and all this other stuff. And you know what? He's really into crypto too. He's really into Bitcoin. I don't know where you're at with that, but I know I've got some technology papers that are grounded where they're actually using people's biofields, energetic fields, as the feeding source of energy. So you know how they have all these mining farms, right? Where people are mining for crypto coins, and these centers are using up gobs of fucking energy. And so I have a paper, couple. Oh, it's one paper. It's actually a patent, where they're actually able to tap into people's neurology. If you haven't checked out Jay or Grounded, there's a woman I've been watching. Her name is Sabrina Wallace. You can probably find her on Odyssey, ODYSE, I think .com. She's not on YouTube because her stuff is just brain melting. She's got her background is in um, she's got a military family background, and she's super Mensa. I mean, she's really putting out there what they're doing, like Neuralink, what Musk has got makes it look like a cakewalk to what's really going on potentially. But again, when you're running certain frequencies in your biofield and your morphogenetic field, it just overrides that shit. It's a non-nego. It's not even debatable. And that's something I'd love to get into a conversation with Jack Cruz about. But I don't know. It's like I got better things to do with my time and my energy than debate and argue. I'm just like I put things out there for people to consider. I'm not saying I'm right. So what else was there? Hexes. Yeah. Oh, Hex is a better Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm just, I've done some. I'm holding on a few, but I don't think the dollar's ever going to go away because it just needs to be here. But I'm not really well versed in that area right now. Um, yeah. So yeah, man, I got lots of different things, which I can't wait to show you guys. As far as water products go, what else? Some really cool EMF stuff, blue blocking stuff, even ceramic clothing, bioceramic clothing. Have you ever heard of that? Maybe you have. So bioceramics are literally that's what a lot of athletes use, but they are good for like pulling in the near infrared, the infrared light spectrum, literally the frequencies, and they actually charge the tissue and the muscle. They actually help a lot of athletes use it to reduce inflammation and keep blood flow, right? So you have vasodilation, vasocirculation, and also for the nitric oxide. And that's the other thing with sunlight. When you're getting that exposure, that AM exposure, you got that nitric oxide. And also, you could check out. I love Dr. Zach Bush. He came up with what's called the nitric oxide exercise, and it's basically 4 moves, and you do it 3 times a day. You start off with 10 reps and you build up to 20. And when you do that, man, your fingers, your body's tingling from all that nitric oxide that your body is secreting from the endothelial wall in the blood vessels, right? It's just boom, you create it, just like vitamin D and D3. So it's so many things, so many hormones, so many vitamins and minerals and amino acids and all these things that our compound pharmacy creates for us if we just let it. But, everyone's into nootropics and, biohacking everything, which is kind of an oxymoron. Biohacking nature, really? Are we really doing that? I don't think so. I think the yoke's on us, really. I've been yapping all night. Do you know? I have a degree in Japanese. Blah, 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 blah. But anyway, these NO building moves. Oh, dude, didn't I show those to you? So you could add it to your repertoire, J-Man, of doing that. So go on to, well, you're driving, but maybe have Diana do it. I eat raw primal. Man, we must know each other from a past life. I don't know. Yeah, I actually back in LA. Maybe you've seen this guy on the social media scene. His name's Troy Casey. He goes by the Certified Health Nut. He's my brother from another mother. He's doing really well for himself. But when I lived in Venice Beach, California, I used to do Primal Raw. Now it's carnivore, it's paleo, it's, whatever, organ meat guy. But this guy was named, uh, uh, thanks, mate. I appreciate that. This is actually my maiden voyage. I just was sitting here going, you know what? I got to do this. So I'm glad both of you, all three of you, are here. So otherwise, I'd just be talking to the camera. Whatever. I don't care. But so there's a guy. If you're in a primal grounded, check out. His name is Agenus Vonderplanets. Yeah, can you spell that? It's yeah. Troy and I go way back. Yeah, I know Troy. He's doing really good. He's a good guy. He's got his man clan, and he's primal. He does a lot of primal. But we have different approaches to things and stuff like that. In fact, J-Man saw Troy in Sedona and sent me a cool little video, which I'll maybe have to post one day. That was fucking awesome. Troy was being Troy. And so that was a great surprise. Yeah, timing is perfect. Yeah, it was. Um, that's how I found Raw Primal. Sajonia. Not sure who that is. Sajonia. Uh, yeah, Agenus. There you go. Yeah, Agenus Vonderplanets. Vonderplanitz. He passed away, unfortunately. But if you go on to YouTube and you look up Rossum Raid, I worked with the guy by the name of James Stewart, who is the, let's just say, proprietor of Rossum. Okay. And I used to deliver raw milk all over Southern California and even up to or down to Arizona. And but anyway, it was a whole community. So James got busted, made the cover of the Sunday Times, and but Agenus always was there doing consults there. He was doing iridology consults and stuff. But he's got a couple of books. He's got a book called We Want to Live. You'll probably find a lot of his earlier lectures. The audio and video aren't that great, but there's like one on YouTube I know that's like 6 hours long. And what else? And he's got another book called the Recipe for Living, or the book for something like the Recipe for Living Disease Free, and We Want to Live. And yeah, it was all about, I was doing organ meats, we were doing high meat. He was on Ripley's Believe It or Not. They made it into some really spooky thing because he was eating basically, I don't know if you've ever heard of high meat grounded, but basically flesh goes through 16 stages of decomposition, right? So we'd have a golf ball size of, say, some, grass-fed ground beef, and to great raw meat. Yeah, you know what? If you want ground beef in Florida, the one that I get, because I'm not really doing primal as much anymore, I kind of switch. I vacillate between the two, but so to get the meat, two things you could do. Well, there's lots, but I'm just going to give you two quick ones. You can go to Publix Market, and you can get ground beef from a company called oh man, brain fart. Wild Oak Pastures. Okay, Will, I forgot Will's last name. He's like sixth generation. He's in Georgia, but it's regenerative farming. I believe the cows are A2, grass fed, grass finished, no grain, corn, soy, GMOs, crack, heroin, nothing. Pure, really good stuff. So it's like almost $10 a pound. They just sell ground beef at Publix. Or you can go to an Amish farmer that I've been dealing with for over 16 years. His name is Amos Miller. And you just go on. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I mean, it's just, dude, I can't tell you how many times Amos has gone through this shit. This guy's like a pro. It's like he's like a duck, and this crap is like water on his back. But he's been through so much. It's insane. So AmosMillerOrganicFarm.com, I believe, and you can order, but they ship FedEx. It's a bit pricey, but you can get everything. It's all A2. It's butter, ghee, milk, lard, tallow, pig, camel's milk, donkey milk, raw milk, kefir, heavy cream, light cream, whipped butter, heavy, I mean, just you name it. Really. No, the meat's not frozen. This is at Publix. No, it's not frozen. And even the meat coming from Miller's is not. It's packed. They pack it in ice. So it's not frozen. Yeah. Good shit. And that's the only meat literally I get when I do go to get meat. I get that over at Publix. I think it's like $9.79 a pound. There's other ones there, but that's the only one I get because I've watched the videos. You can actually go on to Instagram and look up Wild Oak Pastures. He's got a lot of great info, even their website. Just go to their website and once you get the whole picture and the background of what someone's doing in their farming and their slaughtering processes and everything, it just gives you a much wider palette of understanding, right? The meats. Yeah. So you'll dig it. Totally. And that's the other thing. When you're out in the sun, that is nourishing you. That's photosynthesis, right? The reason people have carbohydrate cravings, which is what restaurants love, they love this because they have LED lights and those big plasma TVs and all that fucking music. And what does that do? That creates carbohydrate cravings. So you want chips, pasta, alcohol, right? And then, boom, when you're in that environment, there's a nice little torus field going on. And guess what? That amplifies. And who does it activate? The parasites in your gut. Oh, yeah. They start having babies and dropping eggs. Get those distended bellies, hookworms, ringworms, schistosoma tapeworms, hematodes, nematodes. Yeah, it's like we've covered everything. Sunlight, raw meat, Kington, seawater. Where else? This has been cool, man. This is a great. I thank you guys for joining me here. Yeah, Miller's Farm. Miller's Organic Farm. Where else? There's some other great places too. But I'm going to upload all this stuff for you when you join the community. And that's the other thing. I'll tell you about the community when it's launched, and then you just join. It's free to join, and I'll be doing like lives like this, either on Zoom or wherever. And if I get to 1,000 in the next week or so on TikTok, I'll go live there. So yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. So what else you got, man? Any other questions? Anything you're going through? Challenges? Let me know. What do I got? I don't got anybody anymore. It says 0 people here. I can see we've been going for over a half hour now. So there we go. Oh, man. Hey, teacher, student, teacher, man. DMSO, Amanda Vollmer. Yeah. She's great. I'll tell you, I follow her also on Telegram. She's got a lot of great stuff. She's got her, what's her website? Yum something or other. I have it. She's got a few sites, but she's great. Boy, I hear you, man. Tell them to get some sunlight. That'll cheer them up. Yeah, man. Oh, bro. Well, we have to hook up. And hey, Grounded, if you're ever in Sarasota, we'll have to kick it at the beach. But DMSO is a dimethyl sulfur oxide. Yes, it is a hidden gem. Um, I use it for push with castor oil. Um, you can do it orally, neti pots, infusions. Haven't done it in an IV. I'm kind of not doing that yet. Really, what I'm working with right now is I will be starting a protocol with hydrogen peroxide, 35% food grade hydrogen peroxide. I'll be drinking it for 23 days straight. Um, uh, yeah, 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 yeah. Um, so yeah, there's so many great things out there, man. Yeah. Well, I do urine with eye drops. I do aged urine with eye drops. You ever do urotherapy? That's a new one that Jay dropped earlier, but super, super powerful. Been going on in Ayurveda for thousands of years. Yeah. Good for you, man. That's great. Not every day, you hear people about this, and that's the problem. I mean, a lot of this ancient remedies, solutions, options are really just suppressed. And it's a shame because so many can benefit from it. And, but that's the thing with the pharmacopoeia, and the way I spell it is lowercase p, capital H, capital A, capital R, capital M, ocopia. Harm. Pharmacy, harm assist, rather than FARM. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it takes a while because it's psychological, right? When you start doing it, I mean, I went on and off. In fact, Troy was one of the first guys when I met that told me about it. This is like, I don't know, 20 years ago. And I tried it back then, but it was like just, I didn't dabble in it. But the way to do it, there's a guy by the name of Brother Sage. You can follow him. He's on Facebook, and he's also on Telegram. Yeah, and probably YouTube too. But he's been doing it for a little while. He's kind of a self-proclaimed Euro specialist, urologist. I don't know, urinologist. Um, but yeah, I do it every day. I do the AM, when I get up. So that, I usually do midstream. I'll do it on my face and then eyes, nose. I'll do a neti pot with it, ears. I take usually my age, then I do it in my ears, my nose. I'll do sublingually. And then I take the jar that I have every so often. Oh, cool. Your Facebook. Yeah, yeah. He's a cool guy. He always canvassed me. He's like, hey, man, join my group. It's $100. I'm like, can we just have a chat? I don't ask him for a lot of info. I mean, I've got tons of data on it, but yeah, he's a cool guy. Red, we shouldn't do urotherapy on high animal protein diet. Your thoughts? It could create uric acid, and you could have what do they call it? Not a phyto dump, but a oxalate dump. So the best thing I can tell anybody is start slow. Are you 100% primal, or are you mixing it up? Like even keto? I don't know. Let me know if you're doing that. Let me ask you, how young are you, Grounded? I'm guessing 30s, 20s. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I eat meat. I do a lot of things. I can definitely taste it and see it. Yeah, I saw his video. He was in Miami in his Captain America bikini suit. Troy, my boy Troy. Yeah, yeah, he does gigs with. I think he does a lot for that green powder for shit. What's the name of it? That MLM that he's with, and then he's doing. Um, He's doing 100% primal for 1 year. Wow, 53. Okay. Well, hey, dude. You know, yeah, yeah. So with your primal, like I tend to change it, right? I did it for years, and then I do raw milk, raw meat, organ meat, stuff like that. But it's all going to be 100% grass fed, no frozen. And then I also fast. I was doing fasting. I would do either 3 day. I would do a water fast because you have to go through cycles, right? And that's what I found. Um, and doing keto, I find typically because people say, "What's your diet like?" I'm an omnivore, right? It's the time of year, what's available, the grids that I'm on, literally the physical, because geopathic stress on the ground will cause a whole bunch of health issues. That's why you always see dogs or cats circle before they pee or poop because they're vortexing. They're finding the geopathic stress area. That's why they do that. Um, uh, yeah, no, my shorts aren't nearly as short. You funny man. Um, but no, that's great. 53, dude. Hey, keep rocking. And you've been doing it for how long? 50 for 1 year. All right, cool. What triggered you? What sparked you to start doing it? I'm curious. Um, so yeah, I mean, I started it. In fact, at that time when I was doing it, my daughter at that time was about I think 8 years old, and my then ex, yeah, oh yeah, if you have geopathic stress under your house, I mean, you can test that by dowsing. You can get dowsing rods or some other things. Usually, there could be just ley lines that are causing a distress on those grids, and that can affect the biology. Yeah, it could animals and humans and plants. So yeah, I can get more into it. I'll upload some cool links. This is all going to be in the community, right? I'll put it all there. Um, but what was I going to say? Uh, when I lost my train of thought. Um, the primal. Man, what was it talking about? Yeah, we're talking about the grids. A man with fashions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just kind of scrolling back here. So yeah, granted, tell me what prompted you to get on a primal. I'm really curious. I'm always curious to know, learn what people. Here we go. Just seeking the truth about everything brought me to. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's so great. And you know what? That's the thing. It's like, um, the truth is personal, right? Because someone could say this is the truth, right? It's a subjective statement. So I think it's your own experience in relation to whatever the event is. It's like beliefs. When people have beliefs, they've been convinced of something. That's why they have the belief. But when you know something intuitively, cognitively, it doesn't require any influence from any external source. You just know it in your blood and bone. It requires no proof, it requires no evidence. It's personal to you. And everyone's walking around in their own little virtual hologram, right? And so it can become a hive mentality where people are trying to figure it out. Oh, that's what I was saying now that I think about it. My daughter was 8. My then ex was, you got it. Great one. Exactly. That's why you've seen the belief, BLIE, be the lie or believe the lie. So my daughter, I used to travel like I was doing raw milk delivery all around San Diego, San Luis Obispo, down to Solvang, Santa Barbara, Malibu. And I used to make this. Have you ever had? I got a kick ass recipe for you for raw chicken ceviche. Yeah, it's in that recipe book actually by Audrey. That's where I got it from. So it's chicken breast, but I always do dark meat. I don't like breast meat. So you ready? Take notes, or you can watch this on the replay. I think they'll replay this. I don't know if they do that with lives. So here it goes. Ready? So you get like a pound of dark meat if you want thigh, leg, whatever. Um, Raw cream, um, organic dill, raw unheated honey, raw organic cashews that have been soaked to get rid of the cadmium and to make them enzymatically active, right? So once you soak the nuts, 24 hours, whatever, 12 hours, in purified water with 3% food grade hydrogen peroxide. That gets rid of all that shit. Um, um, and so, and then, okay, so then you chop up the chicken, use cut scissors, and also, oh, lemon, organic lemon. And the lemon is basically what cooks the chicken. So I do about 2 or 3 lemons and squeeze the lemons in a bowl with all the chicken cut up, pour some raw cream, the dill, the cashews. And you could do, like I do, radishes. You could do cherry tomatoes when they're in season, or heirloom tomatoes, which are really good. And then you just mix that all up, man. And with the raw honey, take a nice big dollop or two of some unheated raw. I usually use sage, or you could use neem honey, which is really medicinal. And damn, brother, that shit is off the hook. Seriously. And I used to take glass jars. So anyway, I used to do this milk journey, take it with me, and I gave it to my daughter. And my then ex just flipped out. She was like, "What are you giving our daughter chicken? She's gonna get E. coli." People make these blank statements without really having the knowledge. Really? Where did you get that chicken is going to cause E. coli? Oh, chicken that's been shot up with crack and heroin and drugs and antibiotics and hormones. Yeah, maybe. But not when the chickens are out roaming, pecking on their own shit, grass, bugs, dirt, microbiome, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Where we come to South Florida 2 to 3 times a year. Oh, wow. There you go. Grounded. You guys can hook up. Jay's all over Florida. South Beach. Hey, man, whatever floats your boat, bro. Doesn't matter. South Beach. Immediately, I thought of South Park when you said that, but so yeah, man. But you still, oh, so you want to try something new. So that's great. Try that recipe. But I recommend that you go on, if you even go on to Scribed, I think, you know what? If you send me a text, I have a PDF copy, I believe, of the book. I'll send it to you. How's that? If you want it. So just let me know. Or when we get off the live here, just send me a text. You can find me, TikTok here. And I'll definitely remember. Yeah. So, yeah, man. This has been great, man. We're almost at an hour. Wow. This is cool. So this is cool. Like, with a community, that's the whole idea here, is to bring people in and everybody. And in this community, I'll have like, I'll have obviously affiliate links for products and things, but I'll also have PDFs and documents and, who you asking? Are you asking me? What's my Telegram name? It's Josh. If you're asking me, or if you're asking Jay. I'm still over. I'm all over. I think. I'm on Telegram. I set up a Free Spirit Lifestyle, but I haven't activated it yet to go live. I'm pretty much just, I have an Instagram, but I'm pretty much TikTok, and just now kind of getting back to here. I did some videos earlier a few years ago on YouTube, but now I'm going back and forth because YouTube and TikTok are the only 2 platforms that are searchable. You can't do that on Instagram. And Facebook is just a joke, so I'm not really going to deal with that. Yeah. What else, man? So that's cool. Yeah, doing the Primal Raw. There's some, have you ever tried Carnivore Crisps? It's a great website. They make like dehydrated or dried beef sticks. They also have, there's a new one. There's a few of them. I know, not Mark Sisson, but Paul Saladino and a few of these other guys. Actually, I had a friend who came out and brought me. There's a Michelin star Primal Raw restaurant in Beverly Hills, and this buddy of mine came out and he said, "I'm only going to share half." It was a surprise. It was this little jar, and literally it was like the creme de la creme of chicken liver with raw butter on top, right? Ground up like pureed chicken liver, and and uh, and yeah, and the raw butter on top, and ate that stuff. Uh, yeah, yeah, it's great. It's expensive, but it's great. I used to dehydrate. My wife and I used to make dehydrated chicken. I used to get coconut aminos and actually some smoked paprika, and just get it to where it's not really dry, but it's still moist and chewy. Oh my God, it's a fucking mouthgasm. It seriously is. Yeah. Um, but yeah, man, good stuff. Really good stuff. Um, yeah, all I can say is get that book, or let me know and I'll get you that book if you want it. For sure. All right, guys. I think I may call it a night. This has been Out of Sight. Dynamite. I'm feeling not so uptight. um, unless you guys have any other questions, this has just been a phenomenal. I can't see what this thing does. What does this do? Oh, that turns the camera around. Yeah. Oh. Oh, man. Yeah, Carolinas, I know. Hey, anytime, bud. Anytime. Yeah, raw chicken's great. I mean, you just got to find really clean chicken. That's the only thing that I don't know that I found that here in Florida. So that would definitely come from Miller's, you know. Because most of the chicken, when they say it's organic, but they give the chickens organic grain and feed. And I don't even know if the feed's non-GMO. So you really want clean chicken. AmosMillerOrganicFarms.com would be your best bet, because he's got the real deal. He's got everything, man. If you want to make broths, bone, get collagen, not that flavored chocolate shit that they sell in the stores. Mark Sisson's got his brand and all these other companies. I don't know. When I hear collagen, man, I'm like, you get the bones and you make it yourself. Oh, man. Yes. I'm so stoked you guys are here, man. You made the day. I'm probably going to do one every day, I think. I don't know what time I may announce it, so just stay tuned. I'm going to try and get more to a habit of this and just have more pre-planned topics and things to talk about. So, for sure. This has been awesome, you guys. Thanks for the maiden voyage, for joining, and I appreciate you. And yeah, pass the word along to anybody you think would be interested. Have them go to my TikTok and check that out and follow for more. I love you guys, and chows for nows. Oh, cool. Thank you. All right, guys. Have an awesome one.